Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you today. BPH Energy has three main investment areas. That's in Advent Energy, clean hydrogen technologies, and cortical dynamics. I'll address each of those in turn. I'll now speak to the Advent Energy area in the first instance. Australia is in the midst of an energy crisis, and Advent Energy has its project, PEP11, offshore New South Wales and 30 kilometres southeast of Newcastle. It has the capacity to solve the East Coast energy supply crisis, and I'm going to talk now more broadly about the crisis across Australia. If we look at where we are in Australia at the moment, you have, in fact, all of the power stations in Australia are due to be shut down in the next decade. What you have offshore in Australia is shown here in this slide, which is all the permits to the northwest of Australia, offshore Sydney, and down in offshore Victoria. Victoria is due to reduce its output by around 50% over the next 3 years, and that's part of the entire problem. When we look at across Australia now, you actually see that Snowy Hydro, which is a pumped hydro, won't be ready perhaps now for another 5 or 8 years. It's gone up from $2 billion in cost to perhaps $6 to at least $10 billion. So Liddell, New South Wales coal-fired power station has just closed, and we have 2 more power stations in New South Wales which are due to close before Snowy Hydro is now ready. So we have the wind farms offshore New South Wales coming in, and they won't start until the early 2030s. Blacktip offshore gas production has now got serious production issues, and that's caused the shutdown of the pipeline between the Northern Territory and the East Coast, which is part of the whole problem dynamic that we have in energy at the moment in Australia. Bayu-Undan is its output is rapidly declining. Beetaloo will take several more years in the onshore area to prepare for commercial production, and the new gas-fired generator in Wollongong will be ready at the end of 2023, and the source of gas is uncertain. We also have a further one being built, but it's under threat from activists. The lack of investment in oil and gas since 2016 continues to cause problems. In fact, if you look offshore and if you look what's happening in the offshore area, you've got 36 projects or 35 projects which are being held up for approval for drilling or development since May 2022. So not a single new rig has joined in to be able to produce more in the offshore area. And Australia, then the PEP11 permit can be a real part of that solution. If we look at the map of permits in 2011 and then look again at what happened in 2022, you'll see that there's been a significant reduction in the number and type of producing permit areas or those permit areas available for future production. All of that leads to significant problems and cost blowouts and lack of supply, and that's leading to significant problems across the entire energy network in Australia. So now when we look at PEP11, it has all of the attributes of other major producing basins overseas, and a potential resource of 5.7 TCF. you've got 2 gas-fired power stations, and they both need gas, and PEP 11 could be the source of that gas. In fact, if you look at New South Wales, it actually imports 98% of the gas that it requires from other states. And Victoria, of course, is due to reduce by around 43% or up to 50% in the coming years. So the offshore Sydney Basin has attributes that are similar to Ormond Lange, which is a 14 TCF field, and Gorgon, that is in the gas escape features and shelf slump events that are occurring in the area immediately offshore Newcastle. All of that means that you're seeing gas coming out of multiple areas right the way through the offshore New South Wales area. And our permit at Baleen and the drilling target at Baleen is at the centre of that. When we look at fields all around the world, you see these types of pockmarks and chimneys that are associated with gas production. And in fact, if you look at the Gulf of Mexico, you'll see that there is a strong association between seeps and discoveries. And in fact, Schumacher said that 79% of wells drilled in positive anomalies, such as we have offshore PEP 11, result in commercial and gas discoveries. So hydrocarbon seeps are a key aspect of discoveries all around the world, and we have those in the areas offshore New South Wales. In fact, we have all of these major attributes shown in the seismic in the area where we're looking to drill. And when you look at the DGB Earth Science research in this on a global basis, you see that 94% of areas that have a non-fault seal trap, such as is indicated in the Baleen area, then you have this 94% discovery. We have multiple attributes at depth at 2,000 metres, which is where the drill target is. And our drill target is around 20 square kilometres. This is a gas target. And as long ago as 1993, the researchers at that time determined that that was the case. You have a gas window area offshore in PEP 11. Let's just move quickly to clean hydrogen. It's in the turquoise hydrogen area. The objective of production is at $2 a kilogram, and that puts it on in the same area as the other turquoise hydrogen development projects around the world, including that which has been invested into by Bill Gates. When he visited Australia, he spoke with the Prime Minister and with the Minister for Energy, and convinced them that in fact turquoise hydrogen was one of the key areas of future development in the hydrogen development area. In our cortical dynamics investment, we are working with world leaders in the anesthesia monitoring device, which looks at the EEG of the patient whilst they're in anesthesia and undergoing operations. In addition, we have an agreement with Philips, and this technology is now going through a significant upgrade of its technical attributes. If we look at what's occurring now, going back to the energy area, the ABC today said that the sting in the tail of Australia's energy crisis is power prices are now going up to 100% up for certain customers, and that's despite $3 billion of combined assistance from state and federal governments. And so we really are in an energy crisis, and we can, in fact, offer a potential solution to that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.